Good afternoon, Brian with Grand Roofing, and I never thought I'd be doing a video like this with TAMKO shingles, other than inspecting TAMKO roofs that have blown apart, failed, bad installs, whatever. You know how the normal videos go. Product review, TAMKO, today's August 2nd. Just yesterday went down to a product demo, and I've got some roofing here that they gave me on the way back. We're gonna do a really quick impromptu video of it. Got my little infrared little scanner here, switch camera. Just got them off the truck and open it up. Truck has been sitting out in the sun, just as you see right there. Had a 2-hour phone call probably with John Abernathy with TAMKO, so I'm a little behind, but the truck was sitting in the sunlight. My shop here is just ambient temperature, and the office is cool. So these were sitting in the sun, and we're getting a reading of 83 degrees. The shop floor, about 74. It was cooler in here. The concrete's going to get cold overnight and takes longer to heat up in here because it just opened the shop. But they are outside. It's probably, I don't even know what the temperature is. So 81 is what this is reading at. Just open it up. It is black. So kind of my thought to do some testing. We got some black and we got some light. We're going to test various different tests. This is the first test I'm just going to perform right off the bat. We're going to take 2 and lay them down on the ground right here. We're going to take 2 out to the sun because it's sunny currently. We're going to lay them out there. To be consistent, I might grab a scrap sheet of OSB out here so it has the same substrate to set on, because this concrete here may be a little more smooth than the roughness of the concrete apron out here. So just to kind of be fair, we're just going to do this as a very impromptu video. Rough side up, the side you would usually walk on, gives you a little more texture, usually has your lines to nail on, so that's going to be probably the most realistic out in the field. Let's grab another one here. Just some scrap stuff I'm going to eventually try to utilize in the shop. Boom. Unedited, unscripted TAMKO Titan seal strip. So yesterday's video, I focused more on the nail zone with this strip that's embedded in the back, and the fact that the nails within the very center margin here, not in the common bond. I've already had a few people comment on yesterday's video that wasn't fair because it wasn't in the common bond. We're trying to keep consistent between all competitor brands in the very center with one nail. That video was different about the seal strip. We're talking about the seal strip and how active it is, or how much it sticks down and what temperatures does it activate. This is already a little sticky to the thumb. You can see just gently pressing into it leaves a little impression. The old TAMKO Heritage line would not do that. I believe this is still, the Titan line is an oxidized asphalt shingle, but it does have a SBES seal strip here. So we're just gonna throw them down real quick. We're gonna test how well it adheres to the OSB and how well a shingle sticks to the shingle below it. And to be fair and consistent, I'm not going to press, just simply let them lay there with the temperature of the ambient temperature we got here. Let's go over to this one here. There's going to be a lot of other videos with a little more different type of testing. And I guess to be fair and consistent, we're also going to need to make sure I know which way those are laying across. It's going on the 4-foot direction. So, like this. Right there. Let's give this a minute or two. 4 minutes in, just for the simplicity of not making you guys wait. 81.7, 81.5. It might change based on what part of the shingle I'm actually hitting. Let's try to get an average here. 81.3, 77, 81, 83. Wow, there's really big inconsistency right there. Now, being black out in the sun, I imagine this is going to heat up much more rapidly. Holy shit. 101 degrees already. I may not have to pause the video so I don't bore you. This is going to happen pretty quick. 102, 105, 101. It's already consistently over 100 degrees here. Now the headlamp might be a slight bit lower potentially. It's actually hotter because there are some lighter color granules on that drop. Try to get that laser right on the white part. Now this is heating up real fast. It's not stuck, but you can feel it wanting to. I bet if you stood on that, because most of the time during a roof install, the installers are standing on the shingle, just a couple shingles down to the one they're laying. So if I'm laying this shingle, within 2 to 3 shingles up, I'm standing there to lay that section. This will be pretty impressive. We're only at 5 minutes. Let's just go a little bit more. Back and forth, real time, sunny, warm summer day. Still about 80. So their claim is, not the Titan, I may be wrong here, their Storm Fighter, which is their SBS shingle line, the step up from this one, it's going to be the Class 4 hill rated. I believe their claim is, I think they said 25 degree install, although I would never really recommend that. 25 degrees, I'm going to be at home where it's warm doing the back end business stuff for the install guys. Let's face it. If you're in this industry and you've been in this industry any length of time, you know to put some money aside for those cold, rainy, snowy days. Just like nature, they stash away those nuts for those days that they can't get out. If you're new to construction, the trades, and you're outdoor working, just plan on learning to the wise guys that have done this. You need to start packing some away and saving. Have a rainy day fund. Let's see where we're at here. 73. This is not going to change. The ambient temperature is the only thing affecting this here. Just as I suspected, I wouldn't expect it to warm up in here unless the ambient temperature inside is warmer or something is warm, you know, radiant heat coming out of the garage floor, the shop floor. In the shade, 73. This door's been up for a minute. 84. 90. 110. 115, 120. I mean, it's still heating up rapidly. I'm just going to gently push. Let's, well, I guess I could do it with my body weight consistently. Let's put my foot, my entire flat foot, so I'm not going to cheat and put like a heel or a toe where it's going to push more pressure per square inch. Let's put my 175 pounds-ish within my total flat shoe, starting at the edge right here, back. We're going to count it out, maybe 5 seconds. It's over it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's check this. It's already stuck down. Can't you see my screen? It's so sunny. Yeah, I mean, I could lift it up, but it is definitely stuck. It's pressed into there. And you can tell where it didn't stand. So it's definitely soft and squishing into the roughness of this. No different than it would be squishing into the roughness of the shingle below that's secured. So, just as I thought with any shingle. Now, I can say with confidence, back in the day with the old TAMKO Heritage line, you could install the roof, you could walk on the roof, you could jump on the roof. You could do anything you could imaginably conceive of in your mind to press that thing down, and it would not stick. And I think going back into my old videos that I've showed over the length of the channel, me hating on TAMKO Heritage, it sat out in the weather for months, years, and would never stick down. So we're going to try the same thing here. We're going to stand on this lower corner right here, just like I did. What did I do? 5 seconds, I think? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I would expect this to start showing signs of sticking, but not near what's out in the sun. Yeah, it's starting to stick too in the shop here. No sun. Definitely pushed into it a little bit more here. You can see where it, oh, we got mat transfer! We got mat transfer! It pulled the OSB off of it. So it's definitely a little more sticky. I've got a tool for the product company when we designed and patented and manufactured that stuff up there. It tests the hardness of a material. So in that, we were doing hot mold injection. And this tool I bought has a prong and a gauge. And basically, you push in, and the gauge recess is based on the resistance it's pushing into it. And there's different scales. I can't remember, but I'm wanting to say it was like an E scale. And basically, it was testing TPO, or not TPO, TP, I can't remember. It's a plastic resin that I was using in my 3D printers for the testing of manufacturing stuff up there. So I'm going to stick it in here, and my thought is it would give me some kind of reading. So when you push it down into the seal strip, it's going to have some resistance. There's a spring and a gauge in there, and it's going to be like, it's going to give so much. Now, whatever scale it is, it's going to be the same scale, the same gauge used on this shingle versus competitor shingles versus the shingle in the sun and the shade. We're going to kind of try to compare like that to see how much it pushes in. If the spring collapses all the way and it's basically going to say it's very hard, that's not going to be good. You're going to want a lower reading according to this scale, because the lower the reading means it's pushing into the material you're testing is softer. It's pushing into it more, and that's what you would want. You would want it to be softer, not quite viscous, but soft to flow like a viscousness into the granule to adhere. Once they coat those granules, it's going to stick to the granules, not just being sticky. I mean, this is not sticky to the finger. What it is, when you press into it, it's essentially sticking like a vacuum. See how it's coming up versus, it did it there because it's a bigger, wider area, but just lightly. It's not sticky to the touch. So hopefully that makes sense. We're going to do more of this testing. Holy, wow, we got up to 11 minutes. Let's do one more quick temperature check here. Probably right where it was, 78. One more stop back out here. $131, 35, 4, 38, 144. If you look, this shadow line right here, those new to the industry, the shadow line is this part that looks a little bit darker versus this. It's more black. It should be a little bit higher. 142 versus this, which is lighter, 140, 141. I mean, it's still hot, don't get me wrong, but colors are going to be a factor. And on that real quick, it doesn't matter what brand. I've had people question in the past, homeowners, saying, well, if I get the light colors, you're going to make my house cooler. It's still going to get hot. That roof is still going to burn you if you put your hand on it. It's still going to radiate down into your attic. It's still going to be hot. It doesn't matter. Attics get hot. What's going to matter is how well your ventilation is. Do you have it properly matched for inlet versus outlet, things like that. You want a decent, even airflow through your attic. You try to go with a light roof, yes, it's going to heat up slower. It's going to reflect more of the energy. It's not going to heat or retain or absorb the energy, but it's still going to get hot. So don't think that you're wanting to choose a color that's pure white light color just because you're going to have more energy efficient. In that sense, I would choose something that's going to be more cosmetically appealing to you, something you like, something you're happy to pull into your drive and be like, wow, that's a damn good looking roof. So anyway, hopefully you liked it. If you want to see more content based around the shingle testing with other brands, and I should have done this with some of the other stuff we have up here. I'll buy more if we need to, but right now I've got Duration, Oak Ridge, some crap 3-tab for repair work. We've got, I think there's some Malarkey. Yeah, I got some Vista up here. I think there's some Certainteed. Yeah, there's Certainteed with the 3 lines I was talking about. Wow, look how big and aggressive wide that strip is. Let me pull this one shingle out real quick and kind of compare to this over here. So this one definitely has a lot where it was gooping out during the manufacturing. This one's pretty consistent. There are some breaks. Now, I've talked about when you install or repair, you just want to put dabs. You don't want a solid line. And somebody right off the bat commented on yesterday's video about that. you can see certainty. I think a lot of them, maybe some used to have little dabs and blocks where it wasn't and is. The chance of water getting in here is there. The chance of water getting trapped and running down laterally is there. So you would think you'd want little areas for it to weep out, but that is less of an issue than you wanting the shingle to blow off. So maybe I'll try to test that. We'll do one shingle course like this with another one on about a 412 slope and dump some water on there consistently over time, maybe for a half hour, simulate a storm, and then see how much lateral water movement happens and occurs. So just some ideas I'm sitting here thinking. If you got any other ideas what we could test on any of the brands, even if I have to pick them up and buy them, let me know in the comments down below. Dimitri does a really good job of showing different products, various testing as far as the granule hitchhikers, bending them, flexing them so many times, how many come off, what's the weight of the bundles. If you want to see my take on any of that, let me know. If anyone's got a desire to see that, I'll do it. I believe John Reese does a lot of shingle audit type stuff. Let me know, comment down below. I'll do my best to try to do more of that here in the latter and part of 2024, 2025 going forward as I have a little more time, because I'm getting a little more done here at the shop. Just not enough time. I haven't even had time to drive the Humvee much this year. It's going by really quick. So as always, until next time, be safe. We'll see you in the next video.